Good morning and welcome to Top of the Morning. This week we will begin a series of shows covering the STEM consortium. STEM, science, technology, engineering and math, the consortium, the bringing together of all the players across the state of Oklahoma and across the nation who impact STEM education in Lawton, Fort Sill. We're going to discuss how we work together to maximize STEM education and how we leverage the Fista for high-tech jobs and more STEM funding. We hope you will enjoy the show. Good morning, and thank you for joining us for this edition of Top of the Morning. We have a special show today. I'm joined today by my good friend, Bob Meadows. Now, Bob has a great history with high-tech jobs. He's a manufacturing expert, over 47 years in the industry. He's done more than 12 startups in manufacturing and integration from a blank sheet of paper. He's learned a great deal. We're lucky to have him with us in Lawton, Fort Sill, helping us out with our growth here. And I will share with you, Bob, you've got a great reputation, not just as a technical expert, but as a leader and a person. And we're really proud to have you assisting us. And thank you so much for your time for this interview.
Well, thank you, Nate. I appreciate it. I'm happy to be here.
Well, I appreciate that. If you would, please tell our viewers a little bit about yourself and your very diverse background.
Yeah, I've been involved in manufacturing, as you said, for 47 years. And I've done pretty much everything, I think, at one time or another that you can do in and around manufacturing. I began my career as a machinist and a tool and die maker. I did that for several years and made parts for everything from tractors to the space shuttle during that time. Later moved into production and material control and gained some understanding of the importance of logistics to manufacturing and how that works. I managed a branch service center that assembled and serviced farm equipment. I was later in quality control. I was a quality control manager at two different companies. I went into program management and also spent several years as a manufacturing manager for a couple, or actually three different defense and aerospace companies over my long and checkered career.
That's very impressive. You and I discussed a little bit earlier about our new STEM consortium.
Yes.
And for the viewers, STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. And the consortium means we're just bringing all the players together across Southwest Oklahoma who advocate for and benefit from STEM education. So the STEM consortium. And the history of that is, you know, in 2011, the National Math and Science Initiative came to Lawton, Fort Sill. And it really transformed the community. A lot of wonderful things began to happen here. Many of them that people, I think, doubted possible previously. You know, in 2013, Eisenhower High School was the NIMSI, National Math and Science Initiative High School of the Year for the nation.
That's wonderful.
Right here in Lawton, Fort Sill. You know, people were so moved by that. In 2016, because of the progress we made in STEM, Lawton, Fort Sill became the STEM city of Oklahoma. And again, there were a lot of people that would have said, who would have thought, you know? But it happened. And in 2017, Lawton Fort Sill passed a $100 million school bond, which meant to me that now the community's really behind it. The STEM program was started with outside dollars, but it runs today on funding from the community. So I'm really proud of that and really pleased that you're here today to talk to us about the importance of STEM. And so the first question is a logical follow-on. It's, you know, how important is STEM education to industry in general, and in particular, the defense industry?
Well, I think that certainly from my perspective, which is pretty much manufacturing centric, STEM is critical to what's going on in industry today, and more importantly, where industry is headed in the future. You know, you and I are baby boomers.
That's right.
You know, after us, there was Gen Y, Gen X. You know, I would propose that this next generation really needs to be Gen STEM. You know, young people now that are in school should be focusing on a STEM education. It is so important. The opportunities that are out there to someone coming out of school with strong STEM skills is wide open.
Mm-hmm.
People who don't have those skills, the opportunities are going to be much narrower for them going forward. So I think it's critical.
Yeah, I hear people in the defense industry also talk about the importance of security clearances. You know, and how we sometimes have to hire engineers from other countries, and that's not to say anything bad about any country or any person, but where security clearances are concerned, we really do need to grow our own.
We have to do that, and so much of the work that's being done right now is cutting edge. It's work that needs to be protected from our adversaries, and we have plenty of those in the world today that would like to do us harm. And it's essential that young people coming into the workforce that want to work to support our nation's defense are able to get a security clearance. We need Americans doing high-tech work in support of national defense.
Yes, absolutely. Bob, across our community, when I talk to folks, there's confusion about what a high-tech job is. You know, some people say, well, high-tech job, that's a scientist, and then others might say that a guy that works on the assembly line has a high-tech job. You've worked in this area your whole life. If you would please share with us the many kinds and gradients of high-tech jobs.
Sure. Well, I can say without any hesitation that in manufacturing, there are no low-tech jobs anymore. Mm-hmm. They don't exist. You know, and there are different layers and levels of high-tech. You know, you could say if you at the top of the stratosphere are the scientists and the physicists, you know, the deep thinkers. Then you have the engineers with a little bit more practical bend, and then you've got technicians, you know, that might be a little bit lower on the strata. But here's the thing: the idea guys up here need the engineers and the technicians to make their ideas real. So, you know, manufacturing today is very, very different than it was certainly when I started, and even what manufacturing was 10 years ago. You know, everything is computer-based, science, math, engineering. There are people running machine shops now that are using degreed engineers to operate work cells because of the strong technical and math skills that they have. So it's essential.
Yeah, that's impressive. You spent some time in the Fista today, the Fires Innovation Science and Technology Accelerator. You received a briefing on the status of the Fista and got to walk through and look at the progress that's being made there. But I have to ask you, what was your impression?
Wow, the Fista is incredible. It is absolutely a great incubator. It's going to be a tremendous resource to the community in Lawton. And the Fort Sill and all of the surrounding area in Oklahoma. It's just exciting what you guys are doing there.
So, you know, what do you think the impact will be in terms of, you know, different kinds of employment and education?
It's huge. It's huge. It's going to help to create that workforce that Lawton needs to continue to attract the kind of companies that offer high-paying jobs to technically skilled people. So I think it's a tremendous opportunity to experience exponential growth in this area through that incubator that you have at the Fista.
I think locally we're already feeling that it's transformational.
Oh yes.
As we feel the community changing in positive ways. You know, Bob, you know that this community has studied Huntsville, Alabama for a long time. Oh geez, I mean, I've been involved in that for, I guess now, pushing 14 years. Of always looking, what are they doing in Huntsville? And how are they doing it? Because in the defense industry, it's kind of the mecca, you know? And you worked there for so very long. What lessons can you share with our viewers from Huntsville that you think are germane to this community?
Yeah, my family moved to Huntsville in 1956, and my dad was was working for what was then just the Arsenal, Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville. So I've seen that town evolve from the watercress capital of the world to what it is now, which, as you said, is a mecca for aerospace and defense in the United States. And I can tell you this, it takes time to develop the relationships, to develop the workforce, to develop the type of community that becomes attractive both to the government, Redstone Arsenal, Marshall Space Flight Center, and to the many large manufacturing defense corporations that have moved to Huntsville and have large presences there. Lawton's on the way to doing that. The Fista is going to be a great springboard, and it's going to be a great start toward bringing more of that type of involvement from those large aerospace and defense manufacturing companies to this community. You have to have the workforce. You have to have the educated workforce. You've got to have the community commitment that you have in Lawton. The recipe is here. It's just going to take time.
Yeah, we're proud of the STEM consortium, and we're going to continue to work that hard. I want to thank you most of all for coming to Lawton Fort Sill, helping us get this right.
It's my pleasure.
Really appreciate that, and I have to give you a special thanks for sitting down with us and visiting today. Always great to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Enjoyed it.